Hello, my name is Juliana, and today I'm going to be discussing with you the effects of animal agriculture on climate change, specifically how they contribute largely to greenhouse gas emissions. So, you may be asking, what even are greenhouse gases, or the greenhouse effect? Well, a greenhouse gas is a gas that contributes to the warming of the Earth's temperature by sticking around in the atmosphere and absorbing infrared radiation that is given off from the sun. Through this process, the heat is trapped in and unable to escape. This is why it is coined a greenhouse gas, because it makes the atmosphere act as a greenhouse by trapping heat in and not allowing any back out. There are a number of greenhouse gases, but the ones that have the biggest effect are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Carbon dioxide is the most abundant greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. There are many ways that this naturally occurs, and it is even commonly stored inside of soil. The meat and dairy industry produce roughly 14% of the world's CO2 emissions. This is second in line with the transportation industry. Most of the carbon dioxide emissions are due to the cultivation of land from the animals' housing and feed crops. One of the reasons CO2 is so dangerous is due to the fact that it stays in the atmosphere for a very long time, and upwards of 200 years. Nitrous oxide is a detrimental gas that is emitted through animal waste. With animals producing over 500 million metric tons of waste per year, the amount of gases that are released adds up rather quickly. This is a gas that can occur naturally, but according to information gathered through scientists by reporter Sabrina Sharkman, around 40% of all nitrous oxide emissions are due to human activity, and of that 40%, about 70% of the N20 emissions are due to animal agriculture waste and feed crop production. Nitrous oxide not only holds more excess heat than carbon dioxide does, it has the ability to damage the layer that protects the Earth from the sun's ultraviolet radiation, the ozone. When the gas is in the stratosphere, the sunlight that is exposed to it converts the gas into nitrogen oxides that can cause damage to the ozone layer. This is why it is believed to be more detrimental than carbon, because it acts as a double whammy, both storing excess heat while also depleting the ozone. Methane is a gas that is released in very large amounts directly due to animals, specifically ruminants, which are like cows and sheep and goats. It has to do with the fact that in factory farms, they're typically fed high protein diets of corn and soybeans. This causes them to create double the methane that they usually would through their own gas emissions and excrement. The animal agriculture industry accounts for the largest amount of methane emissions. It produces 35 to 40% of the world's methane. The gas only stays in the atmosphere for a very short period of about 12 years. However, it holds heat much more efficiently, so it is often seen as more potent than CO2. Methane and nitrous oxide make up a quarter of the gases that are accredited to climate change, other than the leader, carbon dioxide. Furthermore, animal agriculture accounts for more than 2 out of 3 of the major greenhouse gases that are emitted than the transportation industry. The number of meat and dairy consumption is expected to double within the next 2 generations, and it is more important than ever to start thinking about how the production of these foods is affecting the planet. If the meat and dairy industry do not change or the population does not stop consuming these products in excess, then the spike in climate change is going to continue to rapidly increase. With the massive amount of greenhouse gas emissions produced by the meat and dairy industry, it is quite clear that it is one of the top contributors to the effects of the world's changing climate.